Okay, here's a quick start guide to using Audacity. First, when we open Audacity, you're going to see the interface and it looks something like this. The first thing you want to take note of is what mic you're recording on. So this mic icon indicates that, and you don't want it to be your computer mic, you want it to be your actual microphone. I'm using the H6 Zoom audio interface right now, so it's checked. If you plugged in your microphone after opening Audacity, you're going to want to close Audacity all the way, and then make sure your mic is plugged in and on, and then open Audacity again, and you should be able to see it. Keep it at mono, and this speaker icon indicates what you're going to listen to from your computer. It's either I can listen through my audio interface or through MacBook or my MacBook Pro, which I'm going to stick to my MacBook Pro. And then one final thing you want to do before you record is go to Preferences, go to Quality, and change this to 24-bit. 32 is just going to take up more storage and it's not necessary. And we'll change this to 44 hertz instead of 48. Some people record in 48, but 44 is good enough. And honestly, I can't personally hear the difference. And it takes up less storage once more. Okay, everything is good. And let's go ahead and start this thing. All you got to do is hit this red button right here to record. And now we are recording. So one thing you're going to notice is this green bar right here that is going left and right. This is measuring in decibels. So negative 18 decibels is usually where you want to sort of peak at, meaning that's the highest point the green bar is going to go. So right now we are near negative 18, which is good. I've done this a lot, so I have the settings sort of already near negative 18 when I start. But you're going to need to adjust your gain dial on your mic, or if you don't have a gain dial, which, for instance, if you're using something like the Blue Yeti Snowball, then you're just going to have to take note where the peak is because it's going to be important for compression. So negative 18 is where we are, right about. If you go up to negative 12, it's okay as well. Anywhere between negative 12 and 18 are considered pretty safe areas, but just remember if you laugh really loudly or talk really loud, just adjust it so that the peak is closer to negative 18. And make sure you're testing with your normal recording voice. Otherwise, it's not going to be consistent if you raise your voice right after the test. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now. And as you see, it's been recording the past minute or so. Right here, we're going to change this to right click and then decibels so that we can just see decibels. It's a bit easier for me personally because I edit in Adobe Audition and I'm used to seeing decibels instead. We're going to go ahead and make this a half wave just because it's even easier to see now. I wouldn't do this in Audition, but for Audacity, it's kind of difficult to see, so a half wave is good. And what we're going to do to the audio now is edit it so that it's not so quiet. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and reduce the noise. Now, there's no actual noise reduction like there is in Audition. So first, select by clicking either Select or Command A, going into Effect, and we're going to go to Noise Gate. And for noise gate, we just keep everything the same and change it to somewhere around negative 50 to negative 45. I'm going to play it a bit safer and go with negative 47, somewhere around there. And attack, I'm just going to set it as that. Everything else is the same. And let's click OK. You can see that it's slightly changed a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and do a compression. So for the compression, it's really going to be dependent on how you recorded your audio. For me, since I have a mic that I can control the gain on, most of the time what I do is I compress around negative 21 or so. So that's what I'm going to do. But if, say for instance, you're using a Blue Yeti Snowball and you couldn't control your gain, I would recommend compressing around negative 12 or so. So the Blue Yeti Snowball, what happens most of the time is your audio is going to be somewhere around negative 6, I'd say. That's what I've noticed from my recordings with my friends who use the Blue Yeti Snowball. It's usually around -10 to -6 is where the audio is. And what I do for compression, or at least like a rule that I sort of have, usually what I would do is look at it. It's far easier to just look at and just compress where I see the main audios. But for something like Audacity, it's a bit harder to see. You can definitely zoom in by using the trackpad, and I can definitely see it better now. Let's cancel this real quick just so we get a better look. And you can sort of see the main audio is closer to something like -30 or -25 to -30. So compressing around there would be what I would do. Probably to be safer, I'd go for -25. So yeah, you can still see it in Audacity. It's not as obvious. You're gonna have to zoom in quite a lot. I just have a bias towards Audition, but not everyone has access to that. So let's go ahead and do it there. So I'm gonna go for -25, and we're gonna go for 3:1 ratio. Noise floor, just don't change it to be like too high. -50 is fine. Attack, I changed it to 1 second because that's what I use for Audition. 25 is a bit strong, so I'm gonna go for 24 and click OK. As you can see, it lowered some of the audio. I'm gonna undo and then redo. It wasn't a huge difference, but it is a difference. And the next step is, by the way, if for some reason you unselected by clicking away, let's say we try to normalize, it's going to tell us that we have to select the track first. So just make sure you're always selected. And then what we do from here is I normalize to -3 decibels. This way I can sort of see it, and I can automatically see that it's definitely not consistent. Like this part is a bit louder right here, and this part as well. So what I'm going to do is actually do a hard limiter around either -8 or -10, probably. So let's go ahead and do that. Limiter is right here. And we want to do a hard limiter. And let's go for -10. As you can see, it chopped the audio by a good amount right here. And what I'm going to do right after that is normalize it once more, back to -3. And that's pretty good. Like the audio is pretty optimized now. We have no clipping, which is good. You want to make sure you don't clip in the very beginning. And once you have that, normalizing and compressing is pretty much all you need to do to level out your audio. Now, this doesn't like exactly clean it up or give it any sort of EQ or flavor. It's just mainly regular dialogue audio for like podcasts, and you're just leveling it to the optimal standards. Once you are done leveling it, what you want to do to export is go to File, click Export, export as MP3. I'm going to go ahead and name this Audacity Test Optimized. And then I'll go ahead and play it for you guys so that you can compare it to the before and after. And now we are recording. So one thing you're going to notice is this green bar right here. And now we are recording. So one thing you're going to notice is this green bar right here. But you're going to need to adjust your gain dial on your mic, or if you don't have a gain dial, but you're going to need to adjust your gain dial on your mic, or if you don't have a gain dial, which, for instance, if you're using something like the Blue Yeti Snowball, and that is a very simple way of how to just optimize your audio levels in Audacity. It's completely free. Compared to Audition, I do not think Audacity is as good, but it works and it does its job. So just take note that it's really your mic that makes the audio sound good. It's not necessarily the program. Whatever you're recording in, it's just going to record the same quality as long as you're recording in WAV, for instance. Audacity should sound pretty much exactly the same quality as Audition. Audition just has better tools. It's a better UI in my opinion. Those are the only differences really. So you can get some pretty good audio from Audacity. And that is going to be it. If you guys found it helpful, consider giving the video a like and subscribing. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for other videos like related to video editing, audio editing, or anything I can help you with. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.